What's going on, guys? Mic check 1 2. Okay, we have a mess going on right now. Excuse me. Anywho, what if I turn the arm the other way? All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. So as you can tell, for the stream where I'm going to talk a bunch about the move and shit, I've lost my voice. It started happening last night, and this morning it just kind of finished. So I don't really have much of a voice, but we're going to power through this anyway. Should probably be drinking water and shit like that, but you know me. So we're going to wait till we get some people in here. So yeah, you're basically going to have my face, and then of course we're going to switch to the main stream so I can show you some of the like the web pages and stuff like that. But we're going to be talking about not really why we moved, all that kind of stuff. It's just going to be the moving company, and the shit that we've been through with the moving company. Because I have to, while I'm doing the stream, I have to work on getting the inventory together of what we actually received, because we lost a bunch of stuff and it just went downhill from there. I'm missing chargers and shit for my phone too. It's 17%, and I just had to take my charger upstairs. The reason the stream started, but I wasn't here because I had to take my charger up to my son, who's having a conniption fit right now because my wife's phone died and he was watching a show because he won't go to sleep. We don't know why he won't go to sleep, but he refuses to go to sleep. So that's that. But yeah, so this is the my IRL sort of like podcast stream that I'm doing to talk about the move. So please welcome one and all. This one's going to be, I'm not going to edit it. I was going to make a whole video about this whole thing, but the video was becoming too long. I didn't want to make one video. I was going to split it up, and it seems silly. So as soon as I already do 3 long streams a week, I figured it would be a good time to do it. So I started writing a script, which I'm going to ignore, but I have it pulled up here basically for some of the dates. And then some sticky notes. God, I love sticky notes. That was the only thing I liked about Vista, and they transferred it along with 8 and 10. So, excuse me. Let's get Discord over here too. If you guys want to jump over, I do have the official Squishyspud Discord server. I got to turn my son's volume down. It's the baby monitor. We have an official Discord channel. The link for it should be in the description down below. If it is not, I will post it. I gotta hope it's still here. There it is, because my son was typing on the keyboard and it made an entirely new note. Thank you, Bold Big. I appreciate that. You mean young and sexy, I think, is what he meant to say. So yeah, go ahead and jump in the Discord server if you guys want to chat that way. I do have the Restream chat open, so I can chat with anybody on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer too. So just to let you guys know, if you have any questions as I'm going through this, we can stop it because we got a couple hours anyway. But starting from the top, basically my sister-in-law, so my wife's sister, decided they've always wanted to move to Florida, and we had a plan to move to Florida within a year or two. But her husband, out of nowhere, kind of got a job. He hated his job that he had at the time. So he was kind of looking, and he got offered a job. The long and the short of it is, they said, yes, can you get your ass down here? My wife and her sister Katie had become really close because of the kids. And of course, as cousins, they were around each other a lot, like at least twice, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. So we wanted to keep them together. So my wife said, kind of jokingly, like, hey, if I happen to get a job down there before school's over, or at least around that time, can we just move? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, nothing's really tying us down here. We were renting, we don't own a home. We were renting a condo there too. So, again, the long or short of it is, she got a job. She applied the very next day. What the fuck is on my glasses? She applied on a Sunday night. The next day, she got a call from this place it's a behavioral health school here in Florida. And they loved her, and they offered her a job. The money was A little bit less than it is in Connecticut, but obviously schools here pay shit compared to Connecticut. But it was doable, so we decided, what the hell, let's do it. So she had to be down there within a couple weeks of that phone call, so I was going to pack up the condo. To make it easier, her sister was left up here, so we're kind of thinking about a moving company, at least for her, because she was alone with the 2 kids while her husband was down here in Florida also working. Her mom offered to pay for a moving company to help her out because she was stressing out with everything. So I was like, well, let's just throw both houses together then. Instead of me paying $3,000 or $3,500 for a moving truck, let's just put everything together. So we got a quote from a very, very well-known big company. I can't remember what the name was right now. Actually, I can pull it up real quick on my phone probably, because it does kind of weigh into the conversation here. From Sterling, North America. So that's a big one. The guy comes in. He actually inventories everything you have. They figure out, because they do packing and everything, they figure out everything, and they give you a quote. So within a couple of days, we got the quote back, and it was going to be almost $11,000. So it was ixnay on that. But prior to that, I'd been looking for prices on moving trucks, and as soon as you do that, you start getting hounded by brokers, moving brokers. And as somebody who's never used a company to move before, I've always just used my own car, asked for guys with pickup trucks, just loaded up, moved, because I've only ever moved local, except for when my family moved over here from England, which, of course, I was 11, so I didn't have anything to do with that. God, I wish I could get rid of this cold. So I'd never done any of that stuff, so I didn't really know what was going on. So I decided, hey, could it hurt to contact this broker that was harassing me the most, give him the quote from Sterling, because they're reputable, they'd inventoried everything, I didn't have to measure anything or do any of that crap. So I asked him if he could give me a legitimate quote from that, and he agreed. So that's what we agreed on. He came back with a great number, which was around $6,500, and that was for the 2 houses. He said that Sterling completely overquoted everything. I wouldn't need anywhere near as many boxes. He gave me this huge discount. Everything looked great. This was Mayflower Moving Group. So we're going to switch over to the mainstream here. This is these guys. Mayflower Moving Group. The BBB is the only place I could find anything on them. Supposedly their business is located in Coral Springs, Florida, and we'll come back to that in a second. But this is all I could find. I didn't look for them stupidly while I was getting the quotes and stuff. So this is what I should have done. But he came back with a great number. He promised me they only use 5-star rated companies for moving. Because what brokers do is they basically find a company for you in their pool of companies that they use to move that's going to be the right time and the right price. And also, so basically they get paid a part of what the moving company gets because they're getting them business. So it's like a commission. So he would get a third, I think it was. It ended up being like $2,300. So we decided we're good. We do that. We paid for the $2,300. And then the rest of the 4,000 something was going to be what he said due upon receipt of the product here in Florida once the move had happened. So they promised me that the pickup would be, he said, between the 19th and 20th, and I'd get a better time. It ended up being supposedly 19th of September between 8 and 9 a.m. Well, that came and went, and no show. I was unable to get in touch with anybody. Then it turned out that the moving company wasn't going to be coming till the 20th because there was a miscommunication. So the second day, 8 a.m. came and went, 9 a.m. came and went, 10 a.m. and it was getting annoying. So I ended up calling the company, the moving company that he told me was going to be coming, which was also located in Coral Springs, Florida. The guy on there told me that they don't have my account and that this Mayflower Moving Group was a company that used their name as a moving company to, because they were 5-star rated. But they don't actually use them, and it was one of their sales managers or one of their sales guys that was fired recently. He made this company, and they get bad reviews from his customers because he lies and tells them it's this moving company. So everything was starting to look pretty bad. So I had contacted this guy. His name was Brian something, to say, like, this is fucking shady as shit. So we're going to cancel this because they're going to have everything. He assured me and promised me everything was fine. The moving company was on the way. They were a 5-star rated or 4-star rated. We figured out that like anything over 4.5 stars was fine. So it ended up being a company called Rapid Relocations. And this is, oddly enough, where the story gets even fucking worse. So we have Rapid Relocations. They were, or are, a moving company out of Jersey City, New Jersey. And this is Rapid Relocations right here. I checked out their page. I checked them on Google. And even if you do it today, they're not doing too well on Google, 3.7. But if you go to like movers.com, they're like 4.5. I was like, oh, okay, 4.7 stars on Movers. Public Movers, all these. It looked good. Rapid Relocation is not them. It's Rapid Relocations. So I kind of felt a little bit better. They ended up showing up finally on the 19th. The 19th at like 4:30 p.m. So they were like 6 hours late. They showed up, got straight to work. They were done probably around, I want to say, 8 or 9 at my house. Then, of course, they had to go to the second house. We finally get to the second house. They're looking around, thinking they're not going to be able to load everything up into this, the truck that they had. And when we talked a little bit more, it turned out that the price was going to be way higher than we officially, previously talked about. And the guy had promised me that we were locked in at. So they were looking at more like 10 grand. So tried to call the broker, who obviously didn't answer because it was fucking late at night by this point. At this point, I didn't really know what else to do. They already had my entire house on their truck. They were getting ready to load her stuff up. So we worked out a deal because something I forgot to touch on before. To apologize for everything, the guy from Mayflower Moving Group gave me a refund of the initial down payment and told me that he would accept $1,500. He'd send a FedEx pickup for it the next day. I could just write him a check, just to show me that he cared and he apologized. So he was gonna be doing that. So I had the $2,300 back. So I talked to them and they's like, yeah, he does that kind of stuff all the time. He down quotes it. But obviously we can only move for one price. We have a price. It's a set price. It's this much per cubic foot. So we worked it out, and they were like, look, for $6,800, we can load this entire truck with as much as we possibly can and bring that down to Florida. And we agreed, $6,800. I was like, so for $6,800, you can get this truck to Florida for me for $6,800 with all the stuff, and I just have to worry about what's left. And they said yes. So we decided to go ahead with it. They weren't finished till 3 a.m. the following day. Like, they worked right the way through. And I'm not saying that these guys didn't work hard. They worked their asses off to load that truck. I get that. But after all that was done, they come back to me. And I have these. They came back to me with all the paperwork. And with the paperwork, it said it was $9,800 and change because fuel surcharge, and there was other charges that were added on there that we hadn't talked about. And I was like, we agreed on $6,800. Like, I thought that was fine. He's like, yeah, there's the $6,800 plus the fuel surcharge and what there was some other kind of taxes and stuff on there. I was like, but you didn't tell me these things. Like, if you'd have told me that, I would have known it was going to be more. I asked you for $6,800 if we could get this shit down to Florida. You agreed. Well, what are you supposed to do at that point in time? They've got all your shit. He's loaded on a truck. There's nothing you can really do. The only other option is basically unload everything and we're back to square one. So my dad piped up and he's like, look, obviously I can help you guys with the money right now, because at 3 o'clock in the morning, where the fuck am I supposed to find $10,000, you know? Because also they wanted 50% up front, which was something we hadn't agreed with the broker. So we had to pay almost $5,000 up front. So he ran home, got his checkbook, wrote the check, and we're like, look, 10,000, let's just get it done. We're done. We'll you know, whatever. This is it. You know, we know now not to do this again. We'll just get it. So, paid the 50%. They left. We ended up having to rent a moving truck. Not a moving truck, sorry, a trailer. My dad was going to drive it down in his truck. So we loaded up pretty much the rest of their house into a 12-foot trailer from U-Haul. I cleaned out my condo, got ready, jumped on the road. I was on the road by Saturday, so I didn't get here in Florida till that Sunday, the 21st, I want to say. Which I was already pissed about because I was hoping to be there Saturday morning so I could spend the weekend with my wife and son, who I hadn't seen in a month. So I was supposed to get there. Either way, I wanted to be there by that Monday or Tuesday, or at least the 25th, because that was the date we agreed on delivery. It was also written on the paperwork. I didn't get a copy of the paperwork. They promised they were supposed to email me a copy. Luckily, I took pictures, because we're going to come back to that a little bit later, too. So, now here I am in Florida, waiting on my delivery of stuff for the 25th. So, you know, we have a place to stay, and we have a bed and shit. So we stayed in a hotel for a few days. And by that, the following Friday, the condo was ready, and our stuff hadn't showed up. So, let me look at the dates here. This is why I wanted to do a video, but so now we're into, so November 25th would have been that Tuesday, the Tuesday of the week I got here. By Friday, the stuff still hadn't showed up, but the condo was ready, so we came into the condo, and my dad decided, because he was going to be leaving that Saturday, or Sunday, yeah, Sunday, he was going to, he's like, look, let's just get a bed, a cheap mattress. I'll buy it for you, a king-size one, because you guys need something to sleep on, at least for a few days while the moving company was showing up. So I called them to find out what was going on, and they said they were probably 10 days out. You know, they don't know why I was told so early for the move, but it was going to be like 10 days. It could take, 7 days. It could take 10 days. It could even take 21 days, but it never has taken 21 days. It might. Well, yeah, so 7 days came, 10 days came, constantly trying to call them. They don't answer, ever. This main phone number here was never answered. Occasionally I got a voicemail, but most of the time the mailbox was full. It would go around to different, I guess it was like a call forwarded to different people. Nobody ever answered, and sometimes I got an answer, and when I did get an answer, they would say, maybe this weekend, maybe the following week. They would just tell me a date, get me off the phone. So we were over a month without anything, and then the first date, here we go. My son's not very happy. Wow, I got a lot here. The 27th. Okay, so we're finally, so this was September, the 25th was supposed to be the initial date of delivery they promised. Finally, they show up on October 28th. I'd been talking to the guy on the truck, one of the helpers that helps unload the truck, and they were on their way down, and they were hoping to get here. They might have got there Saturday, but definitely by Sunday. The cool thing was my dad had come down to drop off my bike from, so he was going to be here over that weekend. But we'd made plans on Saturday to take my dad to Disney. He's never been, and of course that's one of the main reasons we moved down here. Or should I say my wife moved down here. So we're a little miffed at that, but you know what? We were going to get our stuff, so that's awesome. So finally by like 10 o'clock Friday night, the guy called me and said, we're not going to be there Saturday. You can go along with your plans, but we'll definitely be there Sunday. To which they did. They showed up on Sunday and asking for more money. They wanted $230 extra. I think it was like $130 or $230 extra. And they would not unload until they received full payment. Now, I had a cashier's check, which is what they wanted. That'll cash. They weren't getting cash from me. But they wanted a cashier's check of the remainder. So I had it made out for like the $4,900 that I owed them. But they agreed to start unloading while they're waiting for their boss to call to say why the fuck it was going to cost more. Meanwhile, my wife and my brother-in-law's wife went off to draw out cash just in case. About an hour or so goes by, and he comes back and apologizes for everything and says, like, yeah, I'm right. My amount was right. The check is fine. So he's got the check in his hand. They unload. And there's tons of damage, but like from the look of the truck, I wish I had the pictures on my computer. I don't. I should have done that. But if you guys have gone to my social media, you saw the picture of the truck. This place was a shithole. And before that, they didn't show up with the BOL, which if you guys know anything about moving, or should I say transportation in general, because I used to drive a tractor trailer, you can't move product without a BOL. BOL is proof of what's on the truck, and it tells the DOT what is on the truck. Everything that's on that truck needs to be labeled on the BOL. They didn't have my BOL, or whatever they want to call it, the service contract. They didn't have it for me, so I'm also supposed to sign that to say that I'd received it. So they didn't have that, and I mentioned that. I was like, why are you driving around for this company without BOLs? You know, the DOT is going to fine you. That's your fine. And he's like, I don't fear the DOT. So we're already off to a great start with this guy, too. But they unloaded. There's a lot of damage. But as we're getting to the end of what's ours, realizing that there's a lot of stuff missing, like a shit ton of stuff. I'm missing tons of boxes. I'd received. Luckily, my computer desk was in there. None of the couch was in there, if I remember correctly. None of the couch. My computer desk was in there. The filing cabinet. There was some furniture in there, basically. But it turns out we were missing probably 60-70% of our stuff. And we're talking about big stuff, not like, oh, they missed a couple boxes. We'd received 2 half bed frames for the king-size beds because their family had one and we had one, so we can't use that. We only received one king-size box spring, or should I say set, because if you guys know anything about king-size beds, they come with 2 box springs, 2 smaller ones, so you can get them upstairs because the mattress can bend. Box springs cannot. So they give you 2 box springs to put side by side to make a king-size. We only received 1 set of those. 1 set was missing. Our mattress wasn't here, so luckily we had a mattress because they didn't deliver it. We didn't have a coffee table. My wife's antique bar that her grandfather had made wasn't here. There was a lot of big furniture missing. So I told the guys, like, look, I'm missing a ton of stuff. Like, I don't feel comfortable with you guys leaving, without delivering everything. They're like, oh, no big deal. We promise we'll be back with the rest of the stuff. I'm like, how am I supposed to prove that you're going to come back with all of my stuff? Oh, you have my word. Well, I apologize, but fuck your word. Like, you guys have not given me any reason to trust your company since day one, really. So, going back and forth, luckily my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, who already lived down here, this is now she has 3 sisters. So we have the eldest sister, and then my wife, and then her next youngest sister. We all live down here now. But the eldest and her husband are attorneys. So they said that the best thing you can do is probably just call the cops, have the cops come down to write down a report. So there's a report that there's missing product. They promise they're going to come back. So the police know, like, they've said it, I've said it, nobody's lying. So there's at least like a third party that has the information. So that's what we did. We had the Bradenton police come down to make a report, told them everything was going on. The guys, the moving guys, like, it was hard to be a pain to them because they just work for the company. They were pretty good. They talked to the cops, told them everything. They said that, yeah, we said we're missing a bunch of stuff. They do this route all the time. They promise they'll be back. So on that one, it was another, they promised they'd be back in like 10 days, I think. Let me see when that guy came back. Got a text message from everyone here. Okay. So that was the 29th? 28th. Yeah, October 28th. So it was about 2 weeks when they came back. It was November 11th. I got the call back. Well, it was a few days before that. I got the call saying that they were going to be here by this Sunday. So again, another thing I forgot to touch on. When they show up, I have to rent a moving truck. Luckily, it's about $40 a day plus mileage to rent from U-Haul. Because part of the stuff was going to a storage unit for my wife's sister-in-law. The rest of the stuff is coming to our condo. As soon as you can't really get a tractor trailer into this condo, the big complex that we live in, the best point was to go to the storage facility, get everything delivered there, put it straight into their storage facility, and I rent a truck and bring everything here. So I've already rented a 26-foot box truck for that last delivery that I did not need that size. I could have rented a much smaller box truck for what showed up. So this time I'm humming and hawing on whether I should spend the money on a 26-footer or rent a smaller one. So we ended up renting a 15-footer for this. And my brother-in-law and I showed up there to get everything. They got there pretty much when they said they were going to. We did the same thing. They backed up the same spot. We unloaded everything. It looked a lot better this time. There was parts of my couch. The bar was there. My wife's mirror would come. The couch would look like the couch. My mattress. So it looked like, and tons of boxes of kitchen stuff, which is the biggest issue we had because for like 2 months now, I'm cooking with paper plates, plastic utensils, and like dollar store cooking stuff so I can make stuff. I was basically cooking out of boxes for 2 months. I fucking hate doing that. So I was super psyched to see the kitchen stuff get here. That's my crock pot, everything. So we decided after the first move, we'd taken the pictures that I'd taken of what was picked up, and we'd start checking them off, because what they do is they put number tags on everything so they can inventory it, because they're supposed to fucking check them when they come off, which is why you have the BOL. They didn't. So we'd already had it checked off. They came back with a second lot, loaded up the truck, and we started checking them off, and I'd received a lot more of my stuff. But after everything was all said and done, we were still missing stuff. And so I told the guy again, like, you're still missing stuff. Like, I don't know what to do, and I need the insurance information from your company so I can make claims on the damage. And they didn't have any. They couldn't tell me what the information was. They couldn't get in touch with their boss to find out. I was supposed to get some kind of paperwork from them. I still haven't signed for my shit yet. Like, they have no proof that they've delivered because I haven't signed for it. So I don't know what the hell's going on. So he tells me he's going to talk to the boss when he gets down there. I send another text message to the boss. I keep calling, or at least who I think is the boss. So now we're talking about another few weeks here, and I can't get anybody to answer my messages. I finally get a text back at Thanksgiving. So what's that? That was the 25th, 25th of, November. Oh, it was the 23rd, maybe. 22nd, 23rd. I know it was early this year. Anyway, So around that time, so that's another, that was over a week. I finally get a message back from the guy that I've been texting, that the information is Progressive Insurance. That's it. Excuse me. But that's it. No policy number, nothing. He just says call their cargo insurance. So I finally get in touch with their cargo insurance. And, yeah, well, actually, I got in touch with the cargo insurance. Sorry. I got the information for the cargo insurance, and it was a few days after that, the following week, when I called him again. I said, look, I need more information for the insurance, and you promised you would deliver the stuff. You said you were going to take pictures of what was left in the storage facility, and then you were going to get it delivered here. And the guy never, like, he would constantly, whenever I called, he would tell me to text him, and then he wouldn't text me back. Finally, he calls me a little bit after I called him, and he was like, I'm here at the storage yard, and it's empty. There's nothing here. He's like, I am just one of the delivery drivers trying to get stuff delivered, and I can't get in touch with the boss. There's nothing here at the storage facility. I called the main number on their website, and it doesn't go through. Like, there's nothing there. It's been disconnected. I'm like, are you telling me they're gone? He's like, yes, they are gone. They have, their business is shut down. There's nothing there. So I went to the Rapid Relocations website, and I'm going to do that right now. So 1-888-269-7307, just so you guys can see. I'm going to press call. Yeah, I know mobile network's not available. Use the Wi-Fi. That's weird. Maybe I'm not going to be able to make a call because I don't have enough service. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'll show you the number again to make sure you know I'm 269. The problem is once you get close to the outside, it connects to the regular service, so Wi-Fi call. So as you can see, it's still calling the same number.
That is not currently set up to receive calls. Please try again later. You have reached a number that is not currently set up to receive calls. Please try again later.
So that's all you get. None of the their number doesn't work. Obviously, they don't answer emails. They're gone. With my stuff and with my sister-in-law's stuff. And it's turning out that it's a lot more. So I did call Progressive because I'm like, oh, well, I've got their information. So I called Progressive. I gave them all the information I could. Obviously, I don't have their policy number, so I couldn't give them that. So that was over the weekend. She said, give me the weekend. I'll call you back with any information once we vet this information and find out what's going on. So she does call me back Monday or the Tuesday. I can't remember. Like, this is the shit. It's just been so much shit. To let me know that they've canceled their insurance, but they were insured within the time that I was I'm claiming for. She's like, but they did not have cargo insurance. They just had their business insurance, their driving insurance. So she's like, I don't know how much we're liable for. You're going to have to give me some time to find out what their insurance has, what's on it, and what we can get you. So as it stands right now, I have to give them an inventory of what's missing, what's damaged, and the Progressive attorney also got in contact with me because, sorry, the Progressive attorney also got in contact with us because they've had multiple complaints from this company for the same thing. And so they have to get their attorney involved because there's going to be lawsuits. Because the only other company left, or basically the fall guys left, is the insurance company. Because nobody knows where this fucking guy is. From what I can see, they had a Facebook page that had something to do with shit that they'd done in the past. But it looks like it was a new company. They just started. And basically just had fake good comments or something so they could appear to be a good company, and so basically it's a scam. They overcharge you. They do the cheapest job they could, so obviously they split my delivery up on purpose because it was cheaper to get like 15 deliveries on their way down as opposed to 14 or 13 because mine was going to take up so much space. But after the first delivery, of course, they have their full pay, so they can take their time. So we're out. As far as I can tell right now, we're out. Excuse me. We're out half a couch, which is really annoying because that was a brand new couch from IKEA. So we're out half the couch. We're out the coffee table. We're out a bed. The mattress came, but it was destroyed. We're out the frame. Sorry, we're out the box spring. We're out boxes of miscellaneous stuff that we're still inventorying to find out what it is. Obviously, it's not important stuff, which is good, but it's still our property that's missing. My sister-in-law is out half a crib. They're out half a bed frame. Their mattress was destroyed. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the little bits of damage that was done to the antique furniture that we have that they're going to have to pay for. Well, if we can get them to. She's also missing, she does stamping, like arts and crafts. That shit's expensive. So she's missing thousands of dollars of stamps because she has 2 boxes of stamps that are gone. So this is the shit. So basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to tell you what we'd been through to kind of give you guys a little insight into if you're gonna move and you're gonna be moving too far to want to take multiple trips with trucks like a friend's truck. If you're not comfortable driving a tractor trailer, I mean a big truck yourself, like a U-Haul, which is what I should have fucking done in the end. But I just wanted an easy drive down in the car. So this is what you want to do. There's a reason people do moving sales. Sell everything you can replace. Everything you can replace. Sell it for as much as you can because it's going to be cheaper in the long run the less you have to spend on the move. So let's say, like, I love my desk. I love my filing cabinet. I love everything. But it can be replaced. If I sell everything and I move for much cheaper, I can then buy the same desk. Like, this is the motorized sit-stand desk from IKEA. So it's like $550 for this desk. I can sell this one probably for like $400 or $350, but this takes up a lot of space. In a moving truck, they charge you a lot for it. So once you get down there, I've saved that money and I can buy a new desk. Obviously, like monitors, stuff like that. This kind of stuff you can fit in your car, or you can rent a box truck and move it yourself. But the long and short of it is, if you're gonna move across country, sell everything that can be easily replaced. Sell things like if you've got a mattress that's like 5-6 years old, sell it, buy a new mattress, because basically mattresses are 10-year mattresses anyway. So we'd had ours for probably 6 years, so we have a new mattress now. Obviously it's not as nice as ours was, but it was time to get a new one anyway. So we should have just sold everything. You do a big sale, sell as much as you can, donate stuff so you only take what's valuable. You take stuff that's irreplaceable. Like, we would have had to bring the bar because that's an antique bar that her grandfather made. So we'll never get that replaced. But as for a lot of the other stuff, like I loaded up the Subaru with my computer. Thank fucking God I did that, because who knows, it could have been destroyed or never showed up. Now, I've got a lot of money into my computer. I have 3 monitors. I have 2 4Ks. I have the ultra-wide 3440 by 1440p monitor. This is an $1,800 monitor. These 2 by themselves are fucking expensive. Luckily, they're not 4K HDR monitors, and they're not over. They 60 FPS, 60 hertz monitors, so they're not in the thousands of dollar ranges, but there would have been a lot to fix. I have a 1080 Ti. I have the 8700K processor. So we're looking at a couple $1,000s worth of PC that I would have lost. So stuff like that, bring with you, load it up. It took up the entire trunk of my Subaru on the way down, but I had everything that I needed. Just sell everything. It's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. So that was my move to Florida. I just wanted to call out these companies. So, oh Jesus, let's fucking whack the microphone here. So, Mayflower Moving Group, not to be confused with Mayflower Movers. They are a big moving company. Whether they have people that are upset with them or not, they are a huge company. So even if you get anything damaged, you know they're not going anywhere. Everybody has their information, their insurance information. It's a huge company. Mayflower Moving Group is the broker that got in contact with me. And then Rapid Relocations was the moving company, which obviously has fucking disappeared. So this was them, like I said, out of Jersey City. We called that number. No longer exists. They have closed down. So my only hope is the insurance. If not, the insurance will know the information for the owner. I'll have to sue the owner. So we should have a luck with getting another delivery of the rest of our stuff. So thank God. I don't know what happened. Like, some of these other guys may have missed more stuff. I hope to God that most people got their stuff. But that's the moving company story. Obviously, there's a lot more specifics. There's dates and times that I'd called. I have 4 different numbers in my phone's text. People have text. What else we got here? The back and forth phone calls from them not answering and then finally answering. Luckily, Facebook, like, people are selling shit all the time. So I was able to buy stuff to tide us over. We just got a new bed. I got a $1,000 bed for $300 because it was a nice old couple who they couldn't climb into the bed anymore because it's one of those storage beds. So they bought the same exact model, but the single drawer set. So ours is like, basically, it's fucking tall. But theirs is half the size. So they were just selling it for cheap because it was taking up his garage space. So luckily with that kind of stuff, we're okay. But that's money out of pocket that we don't really have to spend because we had that stuff. I paid $10,000 to get that shit moved down here. So pay the money, use the big companies, only the big companies that people know. Otherwise, sell whatever you don't need, whatever can be replaced, and move that way. But if you're going to move and you want to take everything, rent a truck. It was going to cost us $3,500 to $3,800, I believe it was, plus the fuel for the truck to get down here. 26-foot box truck from U-Haul. And I should have just done that. We should have loaded that up with everything we needed, the most stuff. Obviously, our stuff took precedent because we were moving straight into a condo. They're going to be living, which they still are until they sell their house, which they're in the process of doing right now. So they could have waited. We could have got a second load and brought their stuff down some other way. But it just seemed like a great idea to get everything done all at once, and we just got fucking screwed over in the deal. It's what's made this move so stressful. And when people say like, "Oh, how are you enjoying Florida?" It's not Florida's fault. This is the fucking Northeast. This is fucking scumbag New Jersey that's caused this shit. But it's still like the stress from the move. It's just been like, am I enjoying Florida? Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's fine. Because it's been so fucking stressful. So the good part of it is, I guess, because we're not worrying about another delivery because they're fucking gone, is it's over now. So I guess that's fine. So we just basically have to start rebuilding, as they say, what we need. And like I said before too, we're lucky enough to have most of what we need, most of what we use. My TV made it here, so we don't have to spend money on a brand new living room TV, the expensive ones. And yeah, I think basically my sister-in-law lost out the most with her stamping stuff, because her stamping stuff to her is like my computer to me. That's her thing. That's her hobby. So that kind of fucking sucks for her. So we're going to try and get as much as we can, if we can get anything from the insurance company. But like I said, that's it for that. That's the story. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them. But that's it for my story of the moving company. That's all I'm going to bring up. I will only bring it up again if there's been an update to anything. But we're not going to do any gaming tonight. I think I'm going to stay on the stream for a little bit. We may do some updating so I can chat with you guys. Phenomena. A bunch of updates. This is one of the biggest problems with having, I guess it's a white people problem. Well, not white people, but I'm going to get some shit for that. First world problems, but there's always so many fucking updates because I have installed 182 games just on Steam, so I constantly have fucking updates. So every time I turn it on, there's fucking updates. I do have Farming Sim 19 that I just got. I haven't tried it yet. I played a little bit of Forza Horizon 4 today. It's very Forza Horizon 3-ish, but in England, I guess. So it's got that going for it. I was only playing with the keyboard, though, not with my steering wheel, so... So yeah, well, I'm going to end the stream here just because of the fact that I have no voice, so it seems kind of pointless for me to talk at you with this voice that I have. So I will see you guys on Monday. I might do a surprise stream this weekend, but I'll let you know on social media. So follow me on Twitter at OMGSquishyspud or on Facebook. Not everything gets posted to Facebook. It's not as easy to post to Facebook using Hootsuite. And Twitter is just easier because I can do it straight through the Instagram app when I post things on Instagram, because I can post to my Facebook, but not so much to the Squishyspud page. It, for some reason, doesn't have the option to do that. So Twitter, excuse me, Twitter is the best place for you to not miss any information, because pretty much everything gets posted there from Instagram and anything that I post on Hootsuite. Hootsuite, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a social media combination app where you can post to multiple platforms simultaneously with the same picture, emoji, GIF, text, stuff like that. It's pretty smart in the fact that it knows what the letter number is for like Twitter and stuff, so it won't let you go over. It'll tell you like if you're over on Twitter but not on Facebook, things like that. So it's kind of cool, but sometimes you may notice if you post a vertical picture, it'll put it sideways on, and it drives me insane because sometimes you take vertical pictures depending on what you want it to look like. So then if I want to do that, I have to go in separately to Twitter, to Facebook, and post the pictures. But like I said, Twitter is probably the best place to find out any information for if I'm going to be doing a surprise stream, if streams are canceled, if there's changes in times, if there's new videos going live, things like that. Also, jump in on the Discord channel. I always have it open when I'm on my computer, so if you guys want to get in touch with me, if you want to ask me questions, you're always welcome to message me on Discord. If I don't get to your question straight through Discord, make sure you stop by in the streams, because I will answer questions that I don't answer personally on Discord in streams. Like I said again, the link is in the description below on all 3 streaming platforms. I do stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer thanks to Restream. But I will also post... Oh, it's still in there because nobody's chatted. So that's the link. It should work. It worked the last time I tried this. That'll get you straight over here. Everybody's welcome. And like I said, there's different channels. Some of the stuff I'm going to be getting rid of because somebody added a bunch like dank memes. Yeah. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I do appreciate it, and I will catch you guys on Monday. Peace out.